Hello, this is your host. And today's quote is from Neville Goddard, and it asks, "Are you unknowingly manifesting chaos?" This quote comes from Neville's 25th lesson in his course called The Law and the Promise. But first, let's take a few moments to look at the law of attraction in action. My husband and I visualized every day for over a year before we got pregnant with him. After watching many of your videos, I was inspired to put my mind to work to manifest my dream car. I have always wanted a new Toyota Tacoma. She says, "Dear Tall, I am writing to share with you yet another successful manifestation. I used the law of attraction to manifest a kidney stone remedy. I had a kidney stone and the pain was unbearable. Well, the first step is to become aware of our thoughts and beliefs. We need to pay attention to the language we use when things don't go our way. If we find ourselves saying, 'Why does this keep happening to me?' then we need to stop and ask ourselves why. We start to live a life that is in harmony with the divine law that governs the universe. God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." This prayer reminds us that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to those events. We have the power to choose whether we will embrace the lessons that come our way or resist them. And when we resist, we create chaos in our lives. But when we surrender to the flow of life and trust in the divine order of the universe, then we experience peace and harmony. We become conscious creators, and we can consciously create the experiences we want to have. If we are manifesting chaos, it's time to take responsibility for it and make a change. Let's start paying attention to our thoughts and beliefs and challenging those that are not serving us. Let us replace them with positive affirmations and trust that we are co-creators with the divine intelligence that brings order to the universe. Let's surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything happens for us, not to us. We realize that everything happens for us, not to us. And we embrace the idea that we are co-creators with the divine intelligence that brings order to the universe. When we surrender to the law of our being, we release the burden of trying to control everything, and we open ourselves up to a world of infinite possibilities. We trust that the universe has a plan for us, and we are willing to let go of our ego, its need to control, and just flow with the current of life. Why do we feel like a victim? Why do we feel like we have no control over our lives? The answer to these questions can reveal our limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that are causing us to manifest chaos. I could not even walk. I had an ultrasound done, and the doctor said that the only solution was surgery. We need to ask ourselves whether these beliefs are really true or whether they are just limiting our potential and keeping you stuck in a negative mindset. For example, if we believe that we are not good enough or that we don't deserve happiness, then these beliefs will manifest in our lives as chaos and suffering. However, if we challenge these beliefs and start believing in our own worthiness, then we will start to see positive changes in our lives. I refuse to accept this because I believe in the law of attraction and the power of my mind over matter. By repeating positive affirmations daily, we can start rewiring our brains to believe in something different about ourselves and our capabilities. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," we can say, "I am worthy and deserving of love and happiness." It may take time for these new beliefs to take root, but with persistence and practice, we can change our mindset and start manifesting the life we desire. I thought of a remedy and then visualized it. I also affirmed positive statements. 1 week later, I had the ultrasound done again, and the stone was gone. My body did its work, and the stone passed through naturally. The pain was still there, but I knew that it would pass soon. The next day, I woke up feeling much better. I really felt the power of the law of attraction. Thank you for teaching us the law of attraction, love. Wow, isn't that incredible? Congratulations to Heidi, and thank you for sharing this wonderful success story with us. So I began visualizing myself driving my dream car and feeling very happy about it. Are you resisting the law of your being? Do you frequently say to yourself, why did this happen to me? Neville points out that there are two types of people in this world. There are those who say, why does everything happen to me? And then there are those who say, why does everything happen to other people and not to me? The person who believes that everything happens to them has a sense of identity with their experiences, both the good and the bad. They understand that they are the cause of their experiences, and they also believe that they can control their experiences. In other words, they believe they can manifest what they want in life. On the other hand, the person who believes that everything happens to other people and not to them is someone who feels separate from their experiences. They feel like a victim of circumstances beyond their control. They are unaware that they have the ability to create their own reality. They think that they are powerless in the face of the world. Instead of saying, why does everything happen to me? They say, why does everything happen to other people? Neville pointed out that most people fall into the second category. That is why we see so much unhappiness in the world. If you do, then you are manifesting chaos. Within a week of doing this exercise, I met a guy who owned a car dealership. We talked about my dream car, and he gave me a card and told me to come see him anytime. A few days later, I went to see him and told him I wanted to buy my dream car. He took me straight to the truck section where there was a brand new Toyota Tacoma. He also gave me a great deal. I was very happy and excited. Thanks to the law of attraction and your videos. Congratulations to Richard, and thank you for sharing this wonderful success story with us. We were trying to get pregnant for over a year and a half and had almost given up hope. We started using the law of attraction at the same time we decided to give it one last try without any medical help. 2 months after conceiving, we found out we were having a baby boy. We were over the moon. I am so grateful for your teachings. Thank you. Congratulations to Christina and her husband. What an amazing miracle. And thank you for sharing this wonderful success story with us. And these are the questions that Neville asks in that lesson. Are you unknowing manifesting chaos in your life? Are you resisting the law of your being? Do you frequently say to yourself, why did this happen to me? If you do, then you are manifesting chaos. Now, in a moment, I will read the entire lesson to you and then share some insights on this quote. This next video is from a viewer. She says, I just wanted to show you my beautiful, healthy baby boy. And here is a testimonial from a viewer. He says, I'm sending this email to testify to the power of the law of attraction. All right, here's another one from a viewer. Okay, now let's move on to the quote. Neville Goddard's quote is, are you unknowing manifesting chaos in your life? So if you're manifesting chaos, according to Neville, one of the ways you know it is that you often say to yourself, why did this happen to me? So how can we avoid manifesting chaos in our lives? The second step is to challenge our beliefs. Once we become aware of our negative thought patterns, we need to start challenging them. The third step is to replace negative beliefs with positive ones. This is where affirmations can be very helpful. When we stop resisting the law of our being, when we stop saying, why does this happen to me? Then we start experiencing order instead of chaos. Here is a prayer by Ralph Waldo Emerson that captures the essence of surrendering to the law of being. In conclusion, Neville Goddard reminds us that we are all responsible for the experiences we create in our lives. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.